Today, I'm going to see if I can actually barbecue burgers on this disposable grill. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just bought this. It is a disposable barbecue Hotdevil. Yeah, instant barbecue kit. And it comes kind of shrink wrapped, just like you see it now. And I have actually no idea how to use this. But as you can see, it's circular, so it's a little different than those platter ones, which I have checked out. And I actually thought this was going to be much smaller. So as you can see, it's probably almost 11 or 12 inches in diameter here. I thought it was actually maybe about this big. I thought maybe it was just for a single burger, but I could probably put a couple of burgers here. I actually think that the round surface here is a little problematic because I'm not sure that I can get 3 burgers on there, whereas some of the rectangular ones you can get actually quite a bit of stuff on there. I will say it's much taller than those square ones, but it also seems a little more complex, and I'm not sure how to put this thing together first. So I'm assuming that I don't need this top piece. Grill starts in less than 2 minutes and lasts 2.5 hours. We'll find out. I kind of would have expected instructions on the backside there, but we don't have any. We also have a second grill piece here. And then it looks like we have the charcoal briquettes type of things here. You might be able to see we have a cardboard liner in there. All right, we have the tray, top tray there, another cardboard liner. I'll tell you what, maybe this thing is superior, but it is much more of a faff to take apart and set up. Okay, another cardboard liner, and then the tube, which I think we actually need, and then another thing here. And this is the quick light charcoal. Okay, so there's more charcoal in here. So we have 5 of these charcoal containers. Okay, and inside this box, we get some other stuff. So I have no idea what that is. A brush, it's like a basting brush. And then, oh, it does come with a metal set of tongs here, so you can move stuff around. But what I actually don't see are a lot of instructions. Okay. So it says place the number of quick charcoals based on your needs in the included aluminum fire pit. Light the fire pit side of the charcoal. Wait 1 to 2 minutes until the charcoal fully burned. Then enjoy your grill. Okay, so I think I just put this in here. Put the charcoal in here. I think I'm going to use 3 of them. Okay, that's all you can fit in there is 3 of them. I'm assuming maybe once you open this up. And then I will put the grills on top. Now, one thing I will say is that there don't seem to be any vent holes on the bottom, so I think air coming in is going to be a little bit of a problem, as opposed to that flat tray one that I had where it was perforated on the bottom. And you can see here, okay, looks just like compressed charcoal, and they are individual briquettes. Okay, so that's how you get more of these in here, and my assumption is they have lighter fluid in them, so hopefully they will just take to a match, which we will find out. So let's get this thing set up and see if we can make some lunch. All right, it says to light the pitted side of the charcoal. So they have these little dimples on one side, and I'm just going to try to light them there because I'm assuming that's where the fluid is. Starting to get a little ringing here. Not sure if I light them on the side or right in the middle. Okay, seems to be kind of catching something there. Okay. One match down. I wouldn't say things are just lighting up here. I think this would be easier with one of the long flame lighters. Now, I will say, when I was lighting on the side, that one is kind of crackling, and you can see maybe something happening there. So I think you just got to keep some flame to it. I mean, that one is like burning through, but I'm going through more matches here than I kind of expected. Oh, man, got a little snap, crackle, pop going there. It's not raining hard, it's just drizzling, but I'm sure that is not helping anything. Let me actually just try to shelter the flame here just a little bit. Okay, so I'm like 6 matches in. This one seems to be burning. It's putting off some heat, although I don't see the flame. So I think it kind of smolders. As far as I can tell, these other ones are not still lit. So, let's see if we can figure out what the magic is. The key is to hold the flame right up next to it. See, you can start seeing, it's almost like a pyrotechnic or something, and you kind of get it in the right spot. And this one's going now too. Once it goes, it seems to be okay. Okay, that one seems to be going too now. So get a few of them going. lighter or torch would be ideal. They are definitely sparkling and crackling once you kind of get it lit. Whew. Okay, just comparison to that flat disposable grill, that was a lot easier to light. It had paper wrapping the briquettes, and so you just lit the paper, so it was pretty obvious. I probably wouldn't mind these because there's some sort of accelerant. So in a case where you need it to light and really work, this seems to maybe be a little more reliable, but it's a little harder to get them going initially. That's what it seems like. All right, so I'm going to give these things the 2 minutes that it asks for, and then we will come back and see if we can actually grill on them. All right, it took me way more matches than I'd like to admit to kind of get everything lit. I think the trick to this is to kind of hold the match right up to the top of the side and wait till you get that sparkling, that ignition for each of these bricks. They don't seem, even though they're close, to ignite each other once one gets lit. So you have to use a match to ignite each of them individually. But once you do get that kind of sparking, or whatever that accelerant is, it seems to kind of burn across the top and then keep them lit. And you can start seeing here, now they have this gray kind of top. So I think they're kind of burning top down here. And so that's good, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I don't know why they give me 2 screens, but I am hoping maybe I don't need both of them. I don't know. But what I was thinking is, because it's been about 2 minutes, although I would say this one's been burning 2 minutes and that one's been burning like 30 seconds, you know, it's not going to be quite even. But I do have these Bubba burgers, Bubba Gum Shrimp, and they are frozen patties, although I have left them in the refrigerator overnight so that they have thawed. And I'm just going to go ahead and start throwing some of these on there and see, 1, how many we can get on there, and then 2, if they will indeed cook on here. Because is there heat coming off here? Yes, but I'm holding my hand here about 6 inches from the top, and it's hot, but it's not like obviously super uncomfortable hot. So I'm just going to see. I'm going to put one here. Okay, we don't have that sizzling, which is problematic. All right, and the other problem here is I'm going to put this one here, but you might be able to see that's not a lot of burgers I can throw on there. I mean, these are kind of the standard pre-made patties that you would buy at the grocery store, but on the flatter barbecue grills, there's more surface area. I had 3 burgers on here. Here I can really only have 2. So we're going to use the tongs that it comes with, so I don't want to really use much other than what they sent with this. And this may be a very barbecue pitmasters type of cooking, because this may be a very low and slow way to cook burgers. We will find out. All right, clearly getting some more heat. We see some smoke here. I'm going to try to separate these a little bit, just to let the heat kind of move between them here. But at least they're cooking. At least I know we're cooking something. Right now, like I said, from an efficiency standpoint, I can't cook as much as I would possibly like, but I will say that I feel like these charcoal briquettes allow me to reuse this. So if this is going to be a multi-day outing, as opposed to just a single tailgate or an overnight camping situation, I could potentially reuse this thing with these briquettes. Like, I've only used 2 of the 5 sleeves here, so that's kind of nice. And maybe you can keep this thing too. I don't know that it's going to last forever, but you know, it's possible that you can keep it and use it a couple days later too. So maybe that's why there's actually 2 grills. It's dawning on me now that I only need to use the one, because now I could throw that one away and then I could use the other screen for cooking up on another day. All right, it's kind of nice. I didn't do that because I'm a dork, but it's possible. So I think the ability to use this grill multiple times is maybe one of its big advantages. All right, it might not be that easy to see, but this one is shrinking more. It's cooking faster, I think. And that's because I think these coals kind of fired up first. So this coal right here is the last one to go. So maybe it's a little cooler over there. So I'm just going to kind of move this one over a little bit to see if I can get it on the heat. All right. Just kind of curious what this one looks like underneath so far. All right. You know what? That looks like a burger. I'll let that cook there just for a little longer. But maybe this isn't going to take as long as I thought, and we're going to be able to flip these a little sooner. So one of the things that I might say here is that I think maybe because of the round nature of the grill, maybe it's trapping and focusing the heat better. On that flatter grill, it seemed like the burgers were cooking, but it was taking forever. And I will tell you today, the conditions are much colder, a little windier, much wetter. And so I wouldn't expect these to cook faster than they did on the other grill, but they definitely are. The other thing that might be different is that these briquettes here, the way they're set up or the way they've been engineered, may actually be putting out a ton more heat than, I think they were just like the regular charcoal briquettes that you would buy in a Kingsford bag at the grocery. On the other one, they just were lit by the paper, but these seem to be burning rather efficiently. So these Hotdevil charcoal briquettes, actually, they could be really useful even if you're not using this particular barbecue. You're just trying to fire up a regular barbecue or something too, because they seem to be working pretty well at this point. All right, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to see, but what I wanted to show you down here, between there, that charcoal briquette is red hot. Yeah, definitely not the easiest thing to see through the smoke and the burgers there. Some of these briquettes are not quite there yet, but they are getting there. You can see that, and you can see that red hot briquette under there. And what I usually look for before I flip is kind of that browning of the edge of the burger, and we're getting pretty close. So I'm about to flip these guys over and let them cook on the other side. All right, so I think this one should be ready to flip. Ooh, look at that. A little char on there. That looks pretty good. I'm going to flip this one over too. Like the fact that they're not falling apart on me. And they're actually maybe even a little more done. A little drier than I expected, but I don't mind overcooking kind of low quality burgers. Getting that medium well finish on them, just because they aren't quite as good rare as a really nice ground sirloin or something. But so far pretty good. Smells like a barbecue. It's actually putting out quite a bit of smoke. I guess those drippings falling on the coals are getting burned, and so there's actually a pretty decent amount of smoke. And as you can tell, got maybe a 2-3 mile per hour wind here, and just kind of cold and dreary out here as well. So kind of a gross day, but a warm burger will warm me up and make me feel a little bit better. All right, I almost feel like I should have more food queued up, because when this thing says it will burn for 2.5 hours, I'm kind of not doubting it now, because we're probably 20-25 minutes into this, and while the briquettes look like they are charred pretty good top to bottom, they don't necessarily seem to be putting out any less heat, and I kind of feel like this will continue to roar for a while here. So I feel like the grill is going to keep burning long after I'm done cooking. Now, these things are almost ready to take off here. So I'm actually going to see if I can kind of toast up some buns here. Get some of them buns, hun. And then just see if I can get a little bit of a toast on there. Nothing else, warm them up. Then I also have some cheddar cheese here, mild, just like my personality. So I'm going to just see if I can get those to melt a little bit here. Could have probably rearranged the stuff on here to be a little bit more real estate friendly with the limited amount of real estate I have. So one of the big advantages here is just the length of time this will burn, and then you can always add more coals, I guess. So if you are going to be out, you know, even though you can't grill a lot of quantity at one time, you might be able to grill more for longer. So that's definitely kind of an advantage. All right. That thing looks totally stacked up for 2 burgers, which is kind of funny, but we will see if they are edible here in just a minute. All right, I've rotated the buns once here, so let's just take a look at what we got here. That seems okay. The other top here seems pretty nice. So nice. That one could use just a little more toasting. This one looks pretty done too, so I'm going to move that one over there. And now I'm going to take this one and just throw it over here. So now we're going to take off the burgers and see what we got here, because the cheese has definitely gotten pretty melty, and that looks pretty good. And here's the second one. Also definitely looks pretty edible. I'm going to go ahead and dress them up with a little squirty there with a little catsup. Nothing else. You know, we want to get the real flavor of this Hotdevil barbecue. All right, so now we got 2 tailgate-like burgers here. Let's try them out. All right, so here I am sitting next to the barbecue. It's actually putting out a lot of flame here. It's kind of burning off the remainder of that burger residue, so it's still smoky. I think it'll stop smoking as much when some of the stuff on the top gets burned off here, but Feels nice and warm. The cardboard sleeve here that goes around the side, I kind of was worried about because I thought it might just burn away. It's warm, but it's not like hot. I don't feel like it's going to ignite. So obviously I can pick it up just like that. So that's kind of impressive. I don't know if it's cardboard or maybe some other material, but I'm sure it will burn at some temperature. We all do. Now, let's try the burger here, the Bubba burger that I cooked on this thing. Yep, that is a medium well burger. No pink, but not overly crunchy or anything like that. Oh, man. Dude, that absolutely hits the spot. You can see it's steaming here because it's nice and moist, but it's also pretty cold out here today. So this thing works in the cool weather. It is under 50 degrees out today, and it is still burning. It looks like I could cook more on it. The drawback to this is kind of the shape. I would think that the circle would be very efficient in terms of overall space, but the reality is food is shaped the way it's shaped, and you kind of are limited. You'll have a lot of empty space if you're trying to do burgers. Now, if you were doing hot dogs or something like that, you could probably get more on there. But I think the benefit of this is, one, it burns for a very long time. So you could be cooking for a couple hours, I think, realistically on this. And even if these briquettes burned out, I've got 3 more packages, so I could relight this guy up and keep going. The other thing that I mentioned is that I think it's meant to be reusable, which is why you get 2 grills, 2 screens on here, like this guy, like the 2 screens that I use, because I thought, oh, maybe they'd give you 2 screens to give you a little bit more structure there. But I think it's because once these briquettes burn out, you take the old screen, throw it away, keep the new screen, put new briquettes in there, light it up again. So it's even more versatile than those disposable portable ones. Trade-off is I can cook more burgers on those square flat ones. I think they're a little easier to light. It makes a little more sense or a little more obvious, but they're a one and done. And I don't know that they burn as long as these do. So if you want to pick up your own Hotdevil instant barbecue and have something that you can reuse and cook up, have a tailgate, go to the beach, go to the park, go to the forest, have a barbecue anywhere you want, then I would definitely say this is going to be a good companion for you. I'll put a link to this in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.